welcome to the Mindset RX podcast, a show for functional athletes who want to gain a champ's mindset. Of course, we have the free community for functional athletes, which is called Mindset for Functional Athletes. And if you're not a part of that, I would highly recommend becoming a part of it. It's a place for like-minded athletes, so athletes who obviously appreciate the mindset side of training, who are fed up of the lack of quality information in the mindset for functional athletes kind of world, and want a consistent, reliable way to become the athlete that they dream of being. And that's all in the Mindset RX free Facebook page, which is Mindset for Functional Athletes. And you can find that on Facebook by searching those words. So Mindset for Functional Athletes. I just had, this was completely unplanned, but I just had the weirdest experience ever. I was meditating, and meditation for me is something that can be part of a mindset practice, but it's not essential. It really helps me. I find that I get something from it, but for some people it's not. So for example, if you're really having a hard time with negative thoughts plaguing your mind, spending 20 minutes or 10 minutes or even 5 minutes alone with them isn't always the best idea. But anyway, I was meditating this morning, and I was experiencing something that I haven't really felt that many times. I think it's either 3 times or 4 times, and today was one of those. And I've been really struggling with my meditation recently, but today it was a case of I got real clarity for a fraction of a second, and it's happened for slightly longer times before, but I suddenly felt the absence of time, or the dissolution of time, which was amazing to feel. And I don't think it's anything kind of magical or mystical, but I think it's just the intense presence that you get and focusing on one thing for that amount of time. It's very similar, I think, to if you can train your eyes to be completely still, you'll black out because your eyes create images or project images onto your brain essentially by flicking back and forth. And it's that flicking back and forth, the constant scanning of the world around you that allows your brain to see it. And I think it's a very similar thing when time dissolves, when you focus on one thing, time and your state of where am I now in this moment kind of disappear. Anyway, it's a beautiful and really interesting thing to observe. You have the whole world itself almost dissolve. You know you're still there, but at the same time you don't. And it's a really beautiful thing that's happened just 3 times, like I said, maybe a 4th time, but 3 times. And I've been meditating for 3 years now, off and on, but very consistently for the last year. And at that exact moment of thinking, wow, this is incredible, a fly flew straight up my nose, and suddenly I had a living animal inside my nose that I was desperately trying to get out, and it completely ruined the moment in what is a really funny and beautiful way and kind of poetic way that, oh, I'm doing it. Oh no, there's a fly inside my nose. Anyway, unplanned rants aside, today's show, and I've no idea what I'm going to call it yet, but it's essentially an invitation. I've spoken about the coaching cert before, but this is the Inner Athlete Performance Camp, and you may have heard me talking about the Inner Athlete Performance Camp before, but if you're new to it, I'm going to give you a really quick rundown of what it is, because it's the flagship program of Mindset RX, and it's constantly evolving into something where it's far bigger now than it's ever been, and it's also far more efficient than it's ever been. So the best place to start talking about this is with a simple statement of if you're listening to this podcast, if you're a functional athlete who wants to reach the next level, then this is the course for you, especially if you've had no prior mindset training before, or you're looking for a reliable, systematized approach to mindset training. Essentially, what it's designed to do is give you the thoughts and emotions and basically mental state that allow you to take steps towards who you want to be. Because let's face it, we spend so much time doing things that don't help us, or we are so so widely varied with our goals that we never actually take steps forwards. And especially if we've been training for over 18 months, it can feel like we're kind of spinning our wheels and not really making progress in the ways that we want to. Either there's no progress at all, or it's just slower than we feel. So the Mindset RX, that's a really difficult word to say. Mindset RX Inner Athlete Performance Camp is a 12-week process, all online, developed to give you the systematized approach to developing your mindset. And what does that actually mean? Well, we're going to get rid of negativity. That's the first thing. We're going to banish negativity from your life, not in a way of not allowing you to feel what you're feeling, but about giving you the reasons to be positive and the ways to recognize just how good we're having it. We're gonna do that. And part of this as well is you start achieving more as soon as you're in the mindset, as soon as you're in the coaching, not the coaching, so I've got two things on the mind. As soon as you're in the Inner Athlete Performance Camp, we're also going to drill down into your goals, really nail exactly not only what you want to achieve, but who you want to be too. And the result of this is we end up with an like endless amount of motivation, because motivation and mindset are two very different things. Motivation is where you need to be pushed to where you want to go. You need to push yourself. And mindset is where you're just carried towards where you want to be. You feel this pull towards who you want to be, and suddenly not training or not eating the right food or not hydrating or not doing your mobility work or just not pushing as hard as you can is no longer an option. And speaking of not pushing hard or as hard as you can, that's something we'll cover as well. We'll teach you how to push harder in WODs, how to stop the self-sabotage around lifting, because so many of us do this. We set up for a lift and we've already imagined ourselves failing. And this whole course, the whole of the Inner Athlete Performance Camp, is 12 weeks, all online, so you don't need to be at a certain place at a certain time. It's all online, and it's a group training program. So they only start every 6 weeks. And the next one starting on September 17th. And if you're looking to develop yourself and to become the best athlete that you can be, the Inner Athlete Performance Camp is for you. You're going to get the foundational knowledge that you need and the foundational system personalized to you that is going to facilitate your eternal growth. And that's a huge statement, but this system that I have developed and learned from mentors and like so much education, it's kind of unreal, is based on three things essentially: cutting edge neuroscience and sports psychology. So those two go hand in hand, and psychology in general too is kind of a piece of that. And then on top of that, the tried and tested age-old philosophies that I've been following for so long. And so it's that, and also some amazing mentors as well have brought this together into the system that just works. They're like, to give you some kind of understanding of just how powerful this is. There's been, I think it's over 200 people now who've been through the Inner Athlete Performance Camp. Athletes, mostly functional athletes like CrossFit athletes, and a few others beside, like there's some rowers and some endurance athletes and some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu athletes going through, and not one of them has requested a refund. Not one of them has cancelled through the course, and that's just a testament of how good this stuff is. And I'm not saying that to blow my own trumpet. I'm saying it because it works. It's actually technically it's none of my teachings. It's everything that I've learned from all these different places and combined into a system. And it's the system that makes it work. So if you do the work, this works for you. It's not for you if you're not willing to be helped. You have to be willing to be helped in order to make the most of this. But that's all you've got to do. Once you've first accepted that your mindset can improve, and also your mindset is limiting you right now, and then you agree to do the work, because you don't have to think, you just have to do what I tell you to do. Once you realize that, then this course it flies by, and it's astonishing. And this is funny to say that, but the favorite people and the people who get the most from these kind of courses are the people who come on board and who are a bit dubious about it. There's someone called I won't give his first name, but Leachy. That's his surname, Mr. Leach. And Leachy is he came on board to the most recent Inner Athlete Performance Camp, and he was so dubious about the process, but he has transformed who he is over the past only 10 weeks. And I know that these lessons are going to transform or continue to help him transform and to keep growing into the type of person he is and the type of person he wants to be. So what I'm saying is this: if you're ready to begin PRing more often, pushing harder in WODs, being more satisfied with the work that you do, and ultimately becoming the athlete that you dream of being, then the Inner Athlete Performance Camp is for you. And this is the last time that I'm going to be offering the performance camp at this price, because I've got coaches who are going to be not taking over completely, but helping in individual aspects. There's all the, like, Mindset RX has just grown from me to a team of 5 in, I think, 3 months. So there's loads of reasons that this is going to be the last one that's priced at this price, which is 500 Great British Pounds, which I think is around $640 somewhere around there, and that's just off the top of my head. And I know this is a fair old chunk of money, and especially if you're a busy person with family and a spouse and like work commitments, that's like a big chunk to invest. So what we've done is we've created payment plans. So what this means is if you can put down a deposit of £125, we can help you out creating a payment plan that suits you. So this is something you can spread out across multiple months in order to ensure it's accessible for everyone. So the Inner Athlete Performance Camp, starting September the 17th. This is the last one that's going to be priced at £500. After that, it's going up to £700. And if you get on this one, you're going to get a lot more of me as well, which is a good thing. Like, this is, like, I'm going to have to not step back, but be more and more careful with how I spend my time in Mindset RX. And I've got some fantastic coaches coming through, like Josh, who's just signed up, who's just become the first official Mindset RX coach. He's a fantastic coach and fantastic human being, so nothing to take away from him. But if you want to get the full Tom Foxley, this is for you. And I can't wait to have you on board. To sign up, you need to email tom@mindsetrx.com and just say Inner Athlete Performance Camp application or IAPC application, and we'll get you enrolled. Or if you've got any questions, you can email me too. And I can't wait to take you through the 5 phases, which are testing first. We test your mindset, see where you are now, and see where your opportunities for growth are. Then we go into orientation, basically goal setting, and that's on a hugely different level to what you'll have done it before. So there's the first step, which is testing. Then there's observation. Then there's orientation, and then there's observation, like giving you perspective and control over your actions, and giving you much more stability. And I think control is probably the best word over exactly what you're doing in every moment. And then we go into like sport specific stuff, so teaching you all about visualization and giving you techniques to push harder and pre-lifter routines and all this kind of stuff. And this program here, it goes hand in hand with your current training. It doesn't require you to do too much else, and it will take about 30 to 45 minutes of your time per week, with a couple of minutes of Q&A or a couple of minutes of daily posting, every kind of accountability posting every day for you, and nothing huge. So I'm just amazed at how well this is doing. Like, it surprises me how well the Inner Athlete Performance Camp works. Even though I created it, it blows me away the change that this gets, and that's no hyperbole whatsoever. So once again, if you want to get involved, you can email tom@mindsetrx.com and suggest that you want either more information or you want to get involved with the Inner Athlete Performance Camp. And we'll be starting on September 17th, and I'll hopefully see you there.